Daisy's son rushed back home from miles away, all because a can of salmon went missing from the kitchen.
Oh, very clever, Mama.
But he didn't argue too much with his mother. Booley knew his mom was just trying to find an excuse to fire their African-American chauffeur. However, what Daisy didn't expect was that
Miss Daisy, while you was out visiting, I went and ate a can of your salmon. So I stopped by the Piggly Wiggly this morning.
Hoke's honesty left Daisy speechless, and she could only awkwardly leave the room. At over 70 years old, Daisy had been living alone for a long time. Fortunately, she had Idella, an African-American maid, which made Daisy's life a little less lonely. One day, while driving, Daisy accidentally put the car in the wrong gear and crashed her son's brand new car into the neighbor's backyard. Embarrassed by the mishap, Daisy hid inside and wouldn't come out. Booley had to put on a brave face and call the insurance company when he heard the news. This was Daisy's third accident that year, and the insurance company was no longer willing to cover her. Booley wanted to have a talk with his mother, but Daisy pretended not to hear her son. Having lost her means of transportation, getting around became a big problem for Daisy. She'd rather take a taxi than trouble her son. Although Booley argued with his mother on the surface, he was very filial at heart. He decided to buy his mother a new car, but to ensure her safety on the road, he chose to hire a chauffeur for her. Through a friend's introduction, Booley met Hoke, a kind-hearted African-American man. Knowing his mother's sensitive and stubborn personality, Booley only made one request to Hoke.
The fact is, you'd be working for me, but she can't fire you.
Hoke immediately understood the difficulty of the job, but he expressed his determination to complete the task. Just as Booley had anticipated, the moment Daisy saw Hoke, she outright rejected her son's suggestion. On one hand, she didn't want Booley to forbid her from driving. On the other hand, she couldn't stand seeing a black man wolfing down food in her kitchen, with the exception of Idella, the maid who had been with her for so many years, of course. However, no matter how reluctant Daisy was, Booley still left Hoke at his mother's house. One day, while Hoke was reading the newspaper and chatting with Idella, Daisy got very angry and deliberately gave him a hard time.
Don't talk to Idella. She has work to do.
With nothing to do, Hoke cleaned the chandelier, only to be scolded by Daisy, who said no one would care about the chandelier. He wanted to help tend the garden and even start a vegetable patch in the backyard. But Daisy quickly put a stop to that idea. That day, Daisy discovered they had run out of cleaning supplies at home, so she had no choice but to go out and buy some. Hoke was thrilled, thinking he could finally make himself useful, but Daisy still refused to ride in his car. Left with no alternative, Daisy walked in front while Hoke followed behind in the car. This bizarre scene quickly caught the neighbors' attention, and Daisy was so embarrassed that she finally gave in and got into Hoke's car. Hoke was finally able to drive, but the whole way, Daisy complained that he was driving too fast, then complained that he chose a bad route, and even griped that he had embarrassed her in front of the neighbors. But no matter how much Daisy nitpicked, Hoke never got angry. Instead, he happily hummed a little tune. The more Daisy listened, the angrier she got, but she was powerless against Hoke.